Hey, so this is day 8 of the Fall in Love with Selling Challenge. You made it. For those who are still here, amazing. I want to thank you, and I want to share that the previous videos, I made this challenge. I created it about a year ago now. I've run it, this is my 3rd time running it. So most of the videos were made a year ago, and one was edited last time. And I kind of made a vow that my day 8 video, this last day, would always be made, personalized to the exact, group that shows up, to the exact people that are here with me now. So this is me talking directly to all of you who we've just spent the last week with, and I want to say thank you, and I want to, I really appreciate how open everybody's been, how honest and sharing and just going for it everybody's been. It's really touching and just really awesome. So thank you for letting me into your life, and thank you for considering what I have to share and trying it on. So this is just going to be like a hodgepodge of some sort of like leftover thoughts. And I want to start with the main thing that I want to say is that what I really would love to share with the world, with you guys, if I could like touch a person, if I could touch you with my hand and like transmute what I know, what I've seen, basically, what I have seen and witnessed in my experience, this is what I want to share with you. That we can literally create the future world that we know is possible, the future beautiful world that we see is possible, that world that we can actually create that in the here and now, in a selling exchange. This is possible. This has happened for me. I have lived in this space over and over again, thousands of times, and this is why I've been willing to step through my fear, knowing that that is in my power to create. It's very, it's that's a strong call to go back there. It's like seeing the light, right? It literally is. So, if I could share anything, it's like I want you to know that that's possible. And we could say that's true in any kind of exchange. And in some ways, I see now all of life as like a selling exchange. It's us being willing to share who we are, what it is we care about, and ask for the things we need as well. It's, very basic underneath. Very, very basic. So, let's see. Obviously, I'm very passionate about this, and I feel a calling to share this, in the face of what traditional. There's so many great people out there, all of you guys, what you shared, the things that your core values, the core things you believe in. It's awesome. Like this, if that's like what you're selling, and again, what you're selling really is those things. Again, in a selling exchange, you're bringing your core value, you're selling that in that moment. You're bringing somebody into a way of being with you. It's like putting on another hat, and when you can put it on, someone else can kind of come under that with you for a minute, and experience that. And whether they actually even buy financially or not, if they decide to stick around with you and connect with you, they have bought that. They have bought the essence of what you're selling. So I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on being yourself. That was a video that I felt was a little, obviously it had a powerful effect. Some of the things that came up in the group from that were pretty awesome. amazing, right? It was like pretty depthful sharing from that, so that was great. But there's like an add-on that I have to add to that because, you know, I think sometimes people can use that to fool themselves a little bit. Like here's the good element. Let's start with, you know, the healthy element. The healthy element of that is, I believe, most of you here have a healthy refusal to certain things that are being taught to you in the business and selling world. That's why you're here. That's why you've showed up. You wouldn't have if not, right? There's a lot of things that you're kind of rebelling against. You're like, hell no. And that doesn't feel authentic to me. I don't feel like I can be myself doing these things that I'm being told I have to do to sell. And you're like, no, that is healthy. And yes, there's another side of that though, where it is, you know, this is going to bring you out of your comfort zone. If you're going to, step out and sell, you are going to be, there is no way in hell you're not going to be asked and called. You are being called to step out of your comfort zone. I mean, life is calling us to step out of our comfort zone. That's where life is. Life is on the other side of our comfort zone. And it can often feel like when we show up in that zone, like we can trick ourselves into thinking, oh, we're not being ourselves here. But really, you just need to be yourself in your uncomfort, whatever that looks like, which is very vulnerable. And what you discover is there are parts of yourself that you don't even know exist that are gonna like come out. That's not being yourself, but that there are layers to you that you get to learn about that will emerge as you go through that. And that is a beautiful thing. How fun it is to get to know yourself more. That is the opportunity that awaits in that. And that is the calling, and that is the work, is to differentiate those things where we're refusing to do certain things because it truly is not who we are, and where we are hiding because of that. And I'm going to elaborate on one more point, which is, so the predominant selling, you know, marketing world is teaching fear-based tactics, and that is avoiding this uncomfort zone. That's the only good, bad, whatever. It's really, it's an avoidance of this vulnerability. And we can have compassion for this system, you know, the systemic thing and the systems that be for it when we can see it's just the same fear that we have. It's no different than us. It's just fearing this vulnerable thing. So what they end up teaching are these fear-based tactics. And there are lots of people that seem, you know, are successful in a conventional sense. I think how a lot of us define success, it doesn't measure up. Again, that's why we're here. And people can use these tactics and garner lots of interest and make lots of money off of it. And we can look and go, oh, that's working. But not when we go in there and define what success is for us and look at that and go, is that really successful? If that's how you have to show up, right? And so what I'm going to pose is, how is that any different though? So you have somebody who is using, you know, fear to sell, and they're doing really well. And then you have us who is also using fear, just internally. Instead of putting it out, instead of creating a whole sales huge funnel based on it and putting it out, we're just doing it internally. We're just scaring ourselves into staying a certain way, into staying in a, how is that any different? And I just want to pose that question. You know, it's a really profound question. And so I think if we can see it that way, then again, we can see the calling in us to step outside of that and really create something new. These are pioneering times. You know, there aren't like grand examples of what I'm talking about. You know, there are, but it's not the predominant. It's not the it's not the cultural thing. This is a great time of pioneering, and if we can see ourselves as that, and how awesome and what courage that takes, and you know, that is truly taking a stand as a leader, you know, and acknowledging the importance of it ourselves. So I think that I'm going to end it there. Those are just some final thoughts that I wanted to add. This is getting long. It's 10 minutes. And I'm just going to ask of you guys, if you don't mind, if you would share, like, what did you get? What is one thing that you got out of this? Like something that shifted for you? What's the biggest thing that sort of shifted for you from taking this challenge? I would love to hear that. That'd be super fun for me, obviously. And I will see you in the group. Now, also, I will add, there is going to be an end Q&A call where you can ask, you know, bring up anything you want, basically, about selling, anything that feels like unresolved or confusing. If you can't attend the call, you can write it in ahead of time and I'll try and address it. Tomorrow I will send out a survey of possible times that we could have this call, and I will pick the best one where the most people can attend. And at the very end of the call, for like 10 minutes, I will share a little bit about a course that I offer. It's like basically an ongoing inner journey of learning about the energetics of selling, called the Metaphysics of Selling, and I'll share that there as well. So I'm gonna end this. I so appreciate you again, and I will see you in the group today. Thank you so much.